Today I'll discuss degree of comparison. And you know, degrees are of three types: positive, comparative, and superlative. But in a single session, uh, the whole degree cannot be discussed. So I have divided degrees into two parts. Today I'll discuss part 1. Superlative to positive and comparative to positive. Before that, I would like to give you some idea about what degree is. Degree means an amount. An amount. An amount, level, extent to which something happens or is present. So degree is an amount or level or extent to which something happens or is present. But in grammar, what degree means? Any one of the three forms of comparison. Any one of the three forms of comparison of adjectives or adverbs is called degree. Dear learners, here I have given the definition of degree. Any one of the three forms of comparison of adjective or adverbs is called degree. Degrees are of, degrees are of three types. Positive degree, B, comparative degree. I'll use the acronyms of the degrees. Suppose positive degree, PD, for quick discussion. Comparative degree CD. And superlative degree SD. For quick discussion, I'll use the acronyms or shortened forms or abbreviated forms of the degrees PD, CD, and SD. Firstly, I would like to give you some ideas of every degree, primary idea of every degree for betterment. Actually, what positive degree is. Positive degree. Actually, positive degree is the positive degree. Positive degree. That means PD is the normal form of adjective or adverb, and it offers no comparison. Actually, positive, comparative, superlative, positive degree indicates only the normal form of adjective or adverb. Here, we don't see any comparison. That means a PD or positive degree is a normal form of adjective or adverb, and it offers no comparison. Suppose tall, high. This is normal form of adjective. Suppose tall, normal form. Good, normal form of adjective. Slow, slowly, normal form of adverb. Quickly, normal form of adverb. So these forms of adverb or adjective indicate positive degree. And comparative degree. Comparative degree. Comparative degree. Comparative degree. It describes the forms of adjective or adverb which express more or less, more or less in amount or degree or quality here. Comparative degree, it describes the forms of adjective or adverb which express more or less in amount, degree or quality. For example, taller, nicer, tall, taller, nice, nicer. And here we can see different form of adjective, different form, size, different sign or symptom. Tall, taller. We have added extra ear. Extra e is already here, only r. That means ear. Ear has been additionally added to the adjective to make a different form to indicate less or more. Tall, taller. That means higher, higher in quality or higher in degree, or more in degree or amount or quality, nicer. Slow, here more slowly, more, slow, slowly, and worse. Worse, you see, worse, evil or bad, worse, worst. Here, this is also comparative form. These words indicate more in either quality or quantity or amount or anything. So this sensed form, you see sensed form, tall, taller, nice, nicer, slowly, more slowly, evil or bad, worse. Here, sensed form, these sensed forms indicate indicate higher or less or more degree or amount or quality of somebody or something. Superlative degree. Superlative degree. It describes the forms of adjective or adverb which express the highest degree or amount of something. Such as tallest, nicest, most slowly worst. These forms of adjective or adverb indicate superlative degree, and they also indicate highest amount of quality or amount or degree of something or somebody. Dear learners, you will have to follow very minutely if you want to understand properly. I know the comparison of degree of comparison is very much known item. This is, as English is a compulsory subject in our country from class 1 to graduation class. So this is not new, but I would like to present the rules of turning or rules of interchanges of positive, comparative, and superlative in one way which may attract you or impress or charm you, or may inspire you to read this again, or to remember this again. Now I would like to give you some necessary expressions which will be used in making interchanges of the positive, comparative, and superlative degrees. Here, please follow. Suppose no other, any other, any plus singular noun or pronoun or pronoun. Sorry. No other, any other, any. After these expressions, we will have to use singular noun or singular pronoun, and accordingly the verb will be singular. Not a, there will be is. Not where, there will be was. So you will have to bear these expressions in your mind, so that the use of right form of verb may not be hampered. And some other necessary words which will take plural nouns and pronouns. I would like to give you. Suppose all other, one of the, most other, few other, few other, very few, very few, plus plural, plural nouns, plural noun or plural pronoun. Dear learners, you see here, these expressions are different from the previous expressions. So they will take plural forms of the nouns or pronoun, all other, one of the, most other, few other, very few, plus plural nouns or plural pronoun. And accordingly, plural form, plural nouns or plural pronoun will take plural verb, not is, they will take are, not was, they will take were. So they are very much important for you to bear them in your mind so that you may not do any blunder or mistake in using the right form of the verbs. So you'll have to bear them in your mind. Now, I'd like to start changing positive degree, superlative degree into positive degree. Superlative to positive. Positive rule number 1. PD, positive degree, no other, plus rest the rest part from SD, that means superlative degree, plus verb plus as plus PD form, positive form plus as plus subject. Subject means the subject of the given sentence or given positive superlative sentence. Suppose Mim is the best girl in the class. This is superlative degree. I'll turn this into positive degree. PD. I have already given you the structure of PD or positive degree. No other. The rest part from the positive degree. No other best girl, that means girl. No other girl in the class, no other, as no other is an expression which will take a singular noun, and I have already used singular noun girl, not girls, girl. No other girl in the class. So subject, the verb would be singular. Class is best. The positive form of best. The positive form of best is good. No other girl in the class is as good as Mim. No other girl in the class is as good as Mim. In the same way, Ruby is the tallest girl in the class. No other girl in the class is as tall as Ruby. Rule number 2. If the SD includes of all, PD would be no other plus the rest part from SD, that means superlative degree. SD plus verb plus as plus PD form, PD positive degree, PD form plus again as plus subject. Here one thing you will have to follow, and I'll give you the example. Suppose Prince is the wisest of all students in the class. Dear learners, you see, Prince is the wisest of all students in the class. So here you see all students, plural. So there may be a confusion. What would be the subject of positive degree? Subject will be plural or singular. But you will have to follow the rule I have already given. No other. No other always will take singular noun or plural, a singular pronoun. So here may be plural. That means all of the boys, all students of all students. But no other. When I use we use no other, we'll have to take singular noun. Here, PD form, PD or positive degree, no other student, not students, but we have seen in the given sentence that of all students, of all students in the class, But when we are going to use no other, we'll have to use singular, student, not students. No other student in the class is as wise. Wise is the positive form of positive degree. Wise, wiser, and wisest. As it is positive, we'll have to use the positive form. So wise, wiser, wisest. So here wise as prince. So, in the given sentence, we have seen the plural nouns of all the students in the class, but here no other we have used. So, in this case, we will have to use the singular noun, and in the same way, singular verb. You will have to follow this. Rule number 3. If SD includes one of the PD, that means positive degree will be beginning with very few plus the rest part from SD, superlative degree, rest part from SD plus verb plus as or so plus PD form, that positive form plus again as plus subject. This subject means the subject of the given sentence. Let us try an example. You'll have to follow one thing, one of the. SD, superlative degree. Jim is one of the most meritorious students of the school. Dear learners, you see, Jim is one of the most meritorious students of the class. Here you see plural nouns, students of the school. Jim is one of the most meritorious students of the school. And now we'll have to begin. I'll have to make positive degree of the superlative degree. with what? Of course, you can remember. We'll have to do this with the help of very few. Very few. Very few. Very few students. Students here, we cannot use singular form. Very few. Few is a plural form. Very few. Plural. It will take plural noun. So, very few students. After one of the, we have seen plural nouns. In the same way, after very few, we'll have to use plural nouns. And plural nouns or plural subject will take plural verbs. So, very few students of the school, what will be here? Is or are? Of course, are. Very few students of the school are as meritorious as Jim. Dear learners, in the given sentence, we have seen most. Actually, we'll have to think about one thing, that there is a matter of syllables. If the adjective or adverb is a monosyllabic word, those words will take er in the case of comparative degree, and in the case of superlative degree, they will take est. But when the adjective or adverb will indicate more than one syllables, that means dissyllabic word or trisyllabic word or polysyllabic words or more than that, they will take before them, in the case of comparative degree, more, and in the case of superlative degree, most. But this is a positive degree. In this case, the positive form we'll have to use. So, most, the most, and also the before the positive degree will be omitted, that I have done. So, meritorious is the positive form. Very few students of the school are as meritorious as Jim. Now, I would like to start comparative degree to comparative to positive. Comparative to positive. Actually, positive is positive. Either it is from superlative or from comparative. From whichever positive may be, it will be always same. Chair is chair, table is table. So, chair is always chair. Either it is made of timber or made of any metal or any other thing. Chair is chair. When we look at the chair, we'll be able to understand that is chair. When we'll look at any table, we'll be able to understand that is table. Either that is metalled or unmetalled or made of any other element or thing. So, here we have already discussed some rules of turning superlative degree to positive degree, and now we'll try to turn comparative degree into positive degree. So, positive is positive, chair is always chair, table is always table. So, the same thing in the case of positive degree we'll use. So, If CD, that means comparative degree, includes then all other or any other, all other or any other the PD will begin in the same way as we did in the case of superlative degree. PD, no other plus the rest part from all other or any other plus verb plus as plus PD form plus as plus subject. It seems to you very difficult, I think, but when I'll give you the example, it would be as easy as water. Sometimes water itself makes problem in our throat. It doesn't want to go down. But usually we say this rule is as easy as water. So same thing I have mentioned. Now let us discuss some examples of the rules. CD, suppose here bulbuli is more beautiful bulbul is more beautiful than all other girls in the area. Bulbuli is more beautiful than all other girls in the area. Here we see all other girls, plural. But what form of noun or noun we will have to use? We'll have to use no other for turning into positive. We'll have to use singular, as no other will take singular. PD. No other girl, not girls, no other girl. We have already learned this. No other takes always singular. No other girl in the area. Area. No other girl in the area is as beautiful as bulbuli. No other girl in the area is as beautiful as Bulbuli. So you'll have to follow one thing. In the given sentence, you have seen plural nouns. Then all the girls of the area. Then all other girls in the area. But here, no other. As I have used no other, after no other, we'll have to use singular noun. So, girl in the area is. As here, singular subject, the subject is verb also singular, not a. Here is. Rule number 2. If CD includes then plus direct noun or pronoun, what will you have to do? Follow me, please. PD, that means positive degree. The rest part from then plus verb plus not. Not as plus PD form plus as plus subject. That means this subject will come from the subject of the given sentence. That there's the rest part, the sentence, positive degree indicating sentence will begin with the rest part from the then. From then, that means we will have to follow, look at the then. Let me give you the example, it would be clear. CD, John is taller than Peter. You see, dear learners, direct noun, not than any other or than all other. Here we see direct noun, or it would then he, it could be he, so direct pronoun. So in this case, what would happen? What will happen? We'll have to bring the last noun at the beginning of the positive degree. Here, PD, the construction of the PD I have already given, that the rest part from then, that means Peter. Here we'll have to write Peter, and then verb. Peter is, then not. Peter is not as Taller is comparative form. We'll have to use positive form. Positive form. Tall, taller, and tallest. Tall, taller, and tallest. Here we'll have to use tall. Peter is not as tall as John. Dear learners, of course you see and follow. John is taller than Peter. John and Peter. In the given sentence, Peter is at the last and John is at the first. And in the sense sentence, that means in PD, the sentence containing PD degree here, you see Peter is here subject, Peter. The last one is first one here. Peter is not as tall as John. John is taller than Peter, but Peter is not as tall as John. One thing you'll have to remember, actually, the relationships, we'll have to follow the relationships between the degrees, positive, comparative, and superlative. Actually, positive degree has negative or opposite relationship with both comparative degree and superlative degree. And on the contrary, superlative degree has a positive relationship with comparative degree. That means if you want to turn superlative degree into comparative degree, affirmative will become affirmative, negative will become negative. But in the case of comparative, superlative to positive and comparative to positive, you'll have to change. If it is, the given sentence is affirmative, will change into negative. Same will happen to comparative degree. If in the comparative degree, the sentence is affirmative, it will turn into negative when you will turn this into positive degree. Here, John is taller than Peter. This is affirmative sentence. But when we have done positive degree, it has become negative sentence. You see, not. John is taller than Peter, but Peter is not as tall as John. This is the relationship between positive degree and comparative degree. Let us move to next rule. You'll have to follow and bear this in your mind, what the relationships between the degrees. 3. If CD includes then most other or few other, the positive degree would be very few plus the rest part from most other or few other plus verb plus as plus PD form plus as plus subject. The construction is very long, but when I'll give you the example, it would be easier. Actually, example helps us to understand the rule. It is very normal and everybody knows this. So I'll give you an example and that will help you to understand the rule. CD Korim is one of the worst boys in the class. Karim is one of the worst boys in the class. Sorry, actually, I have gone in imagination to superlative degree. Actually, the example would be in another way. The example would be Karim. Karim is worse than most other boys in the class. Actually, by mistake, I took the example from superlative degree, but this should be the proper example from comparative degree. Please pardon me for that. Karim is worse than most other boys in the class. Most other boys, here plural form, but we'll have to turn this into positive with the help of very few, PD, then that means positive degree, very few, the rest part from the most other or a few other. Here you see very few boys. We know after very few we have to use plural forms. Here the given form is also plural. We'll have to use the same form of the nouns. Very few boys, not is, are, as, here, bad, worst. Here it would be evil or bad. Very few boys are as bad or evil, you can use also. Very few boys in the class. Very few boys in the class. Surely, very few, brain always doesn't work properly. This is happening. Very few boys in the class. In the class, very few boys in the class are as bad as Karim. Karim is worse than most other boys in the class. The positive degree would be very few boys in the class are as bad as Karim. So perhaps this is clear to you now. Rule number 4. If CD includes no less or not less than. In the case of PD, I would like to make the rule easier. In the case of not less or no less, you'll have to use as. In the case of then, only as, it will turn into a positive degree. That means there, except this, there no word will be changed. That means other words will remain unchanged. Only you will have to use in the place of no less or not less only as, and in the place of then you will have to use only as, and other words will remain same, unchanged. Let me give you the example, and it is very easy. Actually, this rule is as easy as water. Here you see, CD, he is not less, he is not less rich than I. He is not less rich than I. Here, dear learners, only as you will use, as here, and then in the place of then as. This is PD would be he is as rich as I. He is not less rich than I. He is as rich as I. That means you are equally rich. Nobody is less rich than another. Here, he is not less rich than I. If you find this formula, you will use just this one. In the place of not less or no less, as, and in the place of then, as. And other words will remain same. Perhaps you have understood the water-like easy rule. Five. And this would be the last one. CD no sooner had ... then, and PD positive degree as soon as. And let me give you an example, and that would be safer, I think. No sooner had he seen me than he ran away. No sooner had he seen me than he ran away. As it is comparative degree, you will have to remove then, as you are going to turn this into positive degree. That means PD. Here, as soon as, we will have to begin the sentence with as soon as. But how can you understand that? This one is as a positive degree, and that one is, the upper one is comparative degree. Soon, positive form, and sooner, year, comparative form. And then here you see then, also then is also a mark or symbol or signal of comparative degree. Now, as soon as he, the subject is he. But one thing you'll have to remember or bear in your mind that in the case of comparative degree, we have used notion had. After had, have, has, we are to use the past participle of the main verb or the third stage of the verb. But in the case of positive degree, that means when we use as soon as, we are to use past indefinite tense. That means past form of the main verb. So this is as soon as he, not seen, saw me. As soon as he saw me, he ran away. And I have used only comma in the place of then. And no sooner had he seen me than he ran away. But in the positive degree, as soon as he saw me, he ran away. So you see, in the case of comparative degree, no sooner had this clause. This clause is in past perfect tense, but the later clause is in the past indefinite tense. But in the case of as soon as, both the clauses are in the past indefinite tense. Both are in the past indefinite tense. So, dear learners, this is the first part 1 of degree of comparison. Today, the video will be longer, I know. So I have divided the degree of comparison into 2 parts. Today, I have discussed 1 part, and I thank you for remaining with me for a long time and are watching my discussion, my video for a long time. I would like to end here. Today no more. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.